and your viewers. Choose choose who can participate. Set delay between message. Hide or put people in timeout. Manage message. Hide views. Alright, we're not gonna do that. Moderation. Yeah, big up yourself. A long time top farm boss and do a live. And for those who are see me first time, you know it's the top farm where to brand that tell you to use your will to power. Make the sacrifice and pay the price, because the greater the sacrifice is the greater the reward. I'm looking tired today, man. I'm looking tired. This is what happens when you finish a job and go to a next job, you know. I just finished a night shift and I'm actually on my second job. You know, something I have to give. But that's a cost. That's a price we have to pay for what we are doing. We are building something from the ground up, you know. Poverty is like when you're born in a certain situation, it's like poverty a curse, you know. I don't know who in my generation was actually cursed, you know. I really don't know. I don't know who in my generation, but poverty is truly a curse. And when you try to break free from the curse, when you try to really break free, it is difficult. It requires a lot of effort. It requires a lot of time. But is it possible? Of course, everything is possible under the sun. It's possible for you to fail, and it's possible for you to succeed. That you have to have that mindset. Everything under the sun is possible. And it takes no more effort to fail than it takes to succeed. You know, so you have to just willing to apply yourself. Condition your mind. Right? Condition your mind. Trust and believe in your own ability. Believe in yourself. Have the confidence. Because somebody said without the confidence you are twice defeated in the race of life. Now, I know one defeat is bad, but I don't think I want to be defeated 2 times, you know. I know one defeat is bad, but I really don't feel I want to be the kind of person that is going to be defeated twice. And this is why we say top form. This is why we say will to power. Because you can't underestimate the power of the will. Don't underestimate a human that will stake his very existence or an outcome and the power of the will. I will do it or die. You know, you will see me on top of the mountain. You might pass me resting, because sometimes you have to feel like you want a little bit of rest, you know. So sometimes you want a rest, but sometimes you have to just use that dogged determination and just keep going, man. You know, a bend in the road does not mean it's the end of the road, you know, as long as you don't stop. And if you ask me, that's what we promote: mindset, philosophical clothing brand. Right? That's a space. I realize sometimes if you don't overthink stuff, I've ended up with like 10 new subscription. I know a lot of people is always trying to get people to follow them on YouTube, right? And when I check my subscription this week, I realize I get like 10 new followers. Resonating. I think that this is why you have to just turn on, because desperation. They say the universe don't. And I feel like sometimes some people is so desperate, what they want don't come to them. Give thanks to the person, because I did like 10 subscriptions, so 10 new followers this week. I think they call them followers, you know. But I'm just grateful, and it just like spur me to keep on going on. Sometimes I might do a live, sometimes I might talk into the camera. You know, there's a lot to talk about in terms of world affairs, you know, but we try to pick a subject and stick to the subject. We don't talk about everything and anything. But you cannot talk about the current war and the current climate. I was actually talking to somebody from Iran a while ago, which is crazy, because I was speaking to the person and thinking like, and she's like, no, we actually want regime change. And I'm looking at her and talk like, you want regime change, it's one thing, right? But you don't want it to be forced upon you. Like, if you like, she's living in the UK, right? And this is why you have to be careful. Because I'm thinking, I was speaking to her and she looked very worried, and I'm like, is your family okay? That's in Iran. And I'm like, yeah, it's a capital of Iran. It's getting destroyed, you know. But she's like, and it's crazy because she was saying it so quiet that there seems to be a big division within even the Iranians, because she was saying it whisperingly like, yeah, but we kind of need regime change, you know. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's one thing. You need regime change, that's one thing, but you kind of don't want somebody to destroy your country to give it to you, you know. Like, if you want regime change, and mobilize as a people or as a set of person and go fight for the change you want, you know. But it just goes to show. But and it's a, you know, the thing is, right, there's so many people is afraid of World War III. Like, everybody think World War III is about to happen. This war is really hurting people mentally. There's so many people who's actually thinking that we are on the cusp of World War. I don't think we are on the cusp of World War III. I don't think World War III is going to happen. But it just there's a lot of changes. Is the battle line has been drawn, and a lot of changes is coming in terms of geopolitics. The geopolitical arena is getting shifted. There's a lot happening, But there's no point you living being scared and think that World War III is coming or the world is coming to an end. The world is never going to come to an end. Humanity might come to an end. Yes, I said this to people all the while. You have people sometimes thinking, oh, the world is coming to an end. And I said this all the while, right? Human being must be the most ignorant species when you come to because we have I don't think you find one animal in the animal kingdom who is thinking that the world is coming to an end, because we came to this planet. This planet didn't came to us. We came and listen, and when you find the talk about this planet, right? You talk about it in terms of billions of years. Like 2 billion. I think they talk about it like 3 and 4 and 5 billion years ago. And think how much is in a billion, right? How much make up a billion? I think they say 100 million make up a billion, right? And you get like 70 years. Normally, as a human being, you get lucky if you get 75. If you get 75 years, on this planet, you are actually lucky. This is why it always fascinates me, because I used to think like that. I used to think like that the world is coming to an end. Like, no, the world is never. This world is going to be here long after you get. If you get 70 years, you get a lot, right? Because them say by the grace of God, you get what 3 score and 10. And if you're lucky, if you please God, if you honor your mother and your father, that your days might be long upon this earth, you might get a bit more. But you can never get to that place where you be like, all right, I'm just going to stop living. I'm not going to try to contribute to humanity or contribute to society, because the world is coming to an end. Because the world is never coming to an end. This blue spinning planet, actually, when you look, we're actually just out in the space. We're just literally floating. We're just floating out in space. And this planet never going, this planet is actually going about its business, just floating along nicely. And your mom and dad just decide to bring you into this world. So you can never get to that space where you feel like this world, if mankind want to self-destruct, that's on them. Because the world will actually correct itself, Because when you talk about this world, this planet has seen some stuff has happened to this planet. Like when you look at what happened to the dinosaurs, or like asteroids hitting the earth. And don't get me wrong, you know what I mean, it is the planet get it right, because what they have like quite a few planets. Now, how much planets we have? 7 or 9 planets. 7 planets we have now. And only Earth is habitable because it gets it right. But that does not mean that this Earth will be fine with us or fine without us. To be honest, it probably be more fine without us, because after mankind nuke them one another, then it just go through the cycle and cleanse the earth and be fine. You can never get to that place, and it always blows my mind when some people be like, oh, the earth is coming to an end. The world is no, bro. No, your time on this earth is coming to an end. Your time. You think this earth is going to be like, oh, I better self-destruct? No. Look at Mars. Mars is actually classed as a planet, and Mars lost everything that was supposed to sustain life. But that does not mean Mars stopped from existing. That is why you have to listen. You have to listen when people speak, and you have to get to the mind. You have to get up myself because the truth is the weakest link. All right, then you have to go work on yourself and get. Don't want to be that way, so you have to work on yourself. Check the links, because every discipline affects each other. Every discipline affects each other, because if you you can't earn, if you and your health, but discipline with your fit with I use. So we actually put that together. So when you buy something from TOPFORM, hear something from TOPFORM, you can find us at www.topform.com. It's a strong brand. You see it? See what I say? The strong brand, will to power. Everything about this brand is all about philosophy. You have to get to a point in life where you have to philosophize your life. And the development of the will is of supreme importance, because it's right. If you have a little, some of the best books you are not reading, or as a top one. So if we come and give Think and Grow, read that book, and we have one. So if we come and give Think and Grow, read that book, and we have greater too much of being short change, you know. So you have, once you have the desire, you're standing at the starting point. Yes, it's up to you if you get out this starting. It's up to you if you get out this starting block. Ain't nothing wrong with lining up beside Usain Bolt. Ain't nothing wrong. Because it's one of the world championship where you and Blake and should not be both. Of life, anything can happen. And too much of us don't want to be a dwarf and a giant. In life, and they come to different conclusion. Yes, because some of the worst atrocities in life, some people see it in life, some people see it as good, while you might look at it and say it's bad. And put out there. So if you ask me for the first time, follow me, just say, realize me get me have to just let go. Not even a break a sweat, 10 new followers. To be honest, and cut me off. Yes, man, discipline. And cut me off. Yes, man, discipline make all the difference, man. Everything required. If I even food make all the difference, man. Everything required. If I even food you eat, if somebody eat, if somebody invite you out to lunch, a lot of us don't know that the most important thing in life is a discipline. You can't go to the banquet and act like a pig. Can't invite you to lunch and you act like a pig. Discipline make all the difference to the result you get in life. You either go and get discipline results or you're getting ill-disciplined result. And this is why when you see me, I go charge, you say, discipline. That's why I make the difference. There's not one place you're going to be invited and them expect you to leave your discipline at the door. No, you have to bring your discipline. Pack it. The first thing you put in the bag when you go out through the door is the discipline. The discipline. Control. Because with discipline come control, and with control come power. So you have to have the discipline, and with the discipline that comes bring control, and with the control that bring the power. Because a lot of us are not in control of our emotions, not in control of our feelings. And it's like, imagine you take up like a shooty, and because everything is out, because we're not in control. Our energy is getting wasted. We're not in control. So you have to have the discipline, which gives you the control. And with the control comes the power. But if you don't have the discipline, you don't have the control, then me I go relinquish your power. And that's how life works. Yes, so discipline, control, and power. And that's how you get a better 2025. And if you ask me for the first time, keep rocking with me, because we always all come over here and try to uplift you. So I don't know if you just enjoy me, but practice discipline. Because if you have the discipline, you'll have the control. And if you have the control, you'll have the power. And if you have the power, then you are deciding what's happening. All right? As a wise man said, the strong suffer what they must, the weak suffer what they will. All right? So you That quote there. Somewhere I hope I said it right. You can never get that quote, but I love that quote there. The strong suffer what they must, the weak suffer what are. The strong suffer what they will, and the weak suffer what they must. Me need to go. I love that quote there. But it just in and out of my brain. You know what I mean? But yeah, you have to understand that because you can't give up your power in life. And you only give up your power if you don't have the discipline. And if you don't have the discipline, you don't have the control. And that's how you get the result. That's how you're on the wrong side of the equation. And check out my website at www.topform.com. Thanks for my new 10. I'm proud of myself. I get 10 new followers this week without even breaking a sweat. Just goes to show that people want to hear something different. You know, people don't want the polish. People don't want the manufactured, over manufactured and over polished stuff. People want the raw and the authentic content, and that's what we're going to always bring to you, because the truth is unfiltered. The truth in its purest form does not need to be polished. So we always are going to bring you the truth and nothing but the truth. Remember, check out my website at www.topform.com. It is a strong brand for the strong people, all right? Because to be in top form is to be in peak physical fitness, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, ultimately economically. And the reason why we say it like that is because a chain is as strong as its weakest link. And any discipline, every discipline affects each other. It has show up, all right? It has show up in your bank balance. If you, whatever your discipline, wherever you have the weakness, wherever the ill discipline is, it is showing up in your bank balance. Remember, check out TOPFORM, all right? Yes, man. Check out TOPFORM. Check us out. Check us out. Check us out. All right, close it down.